Well, I never intended to be in the industry. Always been a martial artist. As you know, my mom teaches martial arts. So ever since I was a little kid, I was exposed to the whole world of martial arts. You know, like any other kids, we always had our share of running wild. And I was a rebel. So my mom sent me back to China to train martial arts when I was 16, almost 16 and a half. And I trained in Beijing for on and off about almost 2 years. Then on my way back to the state, I stopped by Hong Kong. And during that time, the Steven Spielberg of Hong Kong martial arts films, Yuen Ping at the time, he was looking for a new talent. That was right after he just finished making two of the biggest martial arts films, Snake in the Eagle Shadow and Drunken Master, which Jackie Chan starred in. And obviously, those two films made him superstardom. I'm Monkey. I play a character, it's called Wang Keiying. Wang Keiying is actually a live character, historical character. It's called a Ten Tiger from Canton, and very famous martial arts instructor. Well, I try to stay within the character, since the character is a real person, and Wang Keiying practiced Hong Ga style, with the claw, with the crane. That's actually a real style in Chinese martial art. It goes all the way back to the Shaolin Temple. Very true style, actually very common martial art style, Chinese martial art style. So I try to stay within that context. However, of course, film is film. You can't really. It's not a martial art documentary. So I remember talking to Yuen Ping, and I asked him that I would like to have this character do Hong Ga. And then I remember he said to me, well, isn't that a little outdated? Because back in the Shaw Brothers times, many of these films were made. And I said, well, it's really dependent on how we can repackage it and change the pace a little bit and make it a little different. He would always look at the situation like perhaps you're holding a pen or something. He said, can we do something with the pen? You see what I'm saying with that extreme? So that's why when you watch this film, there's so many things going on all the time. Either it's enormous experience working with so many top-notch martial artists throughout many of his films. You have sort of like sucked in all the knowledge into his whole library. The Hong Kong industry, first, is quite small, especially among the whole Hong Kong action circle. It was very competitive back then. It was between a group of people versus another group of people. And to be exact, I was with the Yuen Ping, so we call it the Yuen clan. We were going against Jackie Chan, for instance. So every movie we take on, every project we take on, we trying to kind of outdo each other. You know what I mean? Well, for myself, my favorite scenes in Iron Monkey, I think probably the shadow kick scenes. That's probably my favorite scenes, because if you look at the choreography, the rhythm of that whole scene was staged beautifully. First, you come off with a lot of hands choreographies with real Hong Ga style, with the claw and the crane. Then you picked up the whole pace when the character performed his so-called shadowless kick. But if you talk about dramatic and acrobatic and creativities, of course, the ending scene with the fire, with the pole, the thrills and the risk with having a couple characters fighting on top of the poles. I think Yuen Ping's work, represent that type of motivations. Each movie he always want to top the last one.